Good morning. Today is Thursday, September 14th, 2023. Joe goes to visit his friend Sam, and he notices that in Sam's house there are no clocks, and Sam doesn't wear a watch. So Joe says to Sam, well, how do you know what time it is? And Sam says, well, I figure it out. I look at the sun, I look at the shadows, I figure it out. Joe says, well, what happens if you wake up in the middle of the night? How can you figure out the time in the middle of the night? And Sam says, well, I use a shofar. And Joe says, what do you mean? How do you use a shofar to tell time? And Sam says, well, here's what I do. If I wake up in the middle of the night and I want to know what time it is, I open the window, I blow the shofar, and without fail, inevitably, somebody will yell, are you nuts? It's 3:30 in the morning. And that's how I know what time it is. On Shabbos, this Shabbos, we do not blow shofar because it's Shabbos. But on Sunday, the second day of Rosh Hashanah, we do. Rosh Hashanah is not just about hearing the shofar. The Torah says, Yom Trua Yiyeh Lachem. Rosh Hashanah should be a day of trua, a sound that the shofar makes. Rosh Hashanah is a day of shofar. Notice it doesn't say a day on which to blow the shofar, although obviously that's what we do, but it is a day of shofar. Rosh Hashanah is a day that is expressed by and defined by the sound of the shofar. So we have to do more than hear it. We have to feel it. We have to respond to it. We have to allow it to define what this day means for us. And we're commanded in the Torah to hear a sound called trua. Yom Trua Yiyeh Lachem. In fact, our rabbis give us 3 alternatives to what it sounds like. One is called shvarim. Another is called trua. And then a third sound is both of those together, shvarim, trua. We're not sure which is the correct trua sound, so we blow all 3 numerous times. Now, I realize that it's confusing to have 3 separate names, shvarim and trua and shvarim trua, but they are simply variations on one sound, trua, and that is God's mitzvah to us on Rosh Hashanah, Yom Trua, a day of trua. But our rabbis add to that. And our rabbis tell us that we must also blow a different sound, tkiya, before and after every trua. So, every trua is part of a phrase, tkiya, trua, tkiya. And every time you hear the shofar, don't only listen to the individual sound, but pay attention also to the flow of the phrase, the unfolding of the phrase, because each phrase, tkiya, trua, tkiya, each phrase, each line tells a story. Now, what's in the middle is one of the 3 forms of trua, with the tkiya before and after. Trua is a sound that imitates crying. And the alternatives to how it sounds relate to different types of crying, different emotions. There's a chronic, low, moaning type of crying. There's a high-pitched crisis sobbing. And there is both moaning and sobbing, shvarim, trua. To my ear, it sounds like a siren, like an ambulance or a fire truck, because on Rosh Hashanah is Yom Trua, a day of Trua, and as we say in our prayers, Hine Yom Hadin, it's a day of judgment. On Rosh Hashanah, we are confronted by our shortcomings, our regrets over the past year, our fears for the coming year, and we tremble at the consequences of our actions or inactions. We worry about our health, our finances, our children, our parents. And the shofar is God's cry to us. There is urgency, trua. There is much that is broken in our lives. There's much that is not okay, that needs fixing. And so God commands us to blow this sound, trua, to get us to focus. God is crying out to me and to you. God is crying to us, wake up. You are not yet where I want you to be. And so hearing the trua is emotionally startling. It's shattering. It's the sound of tears. But, says Rabbi Jonathan Sacks, the shofar is also our cry to God, because our rabbis ordained, our rabbis added to the biblical command what God says to us. Our rabbis say that we offer before and after every trua sound a tekiah. So tekiah is completely different. Tekiah is strong. It's confident. It's straight. Tekiah expresses optimism, healing, recovery. To hear tekiah is to feel we can prevail. We can get better. We can meet the crises we face and become stronger because of them. And even if, despite our best efforts, we do not succeed, we can ask God for another chance, because there is nothing God loves more than giving his children another chance. So before and after every trua sound, before and after the brokenness and the sickness, we blow tekiah. We ask God, without words, just with sound, we ask God to allow the tekiah to overwhelm the trua, to drown out the sound of sadness with the sound of strength and joy on either side of it. Tekiah, trua, tekiah. That is the drama of shofar. That is the emotional dialogue that should run through our consciousness as we experience these sounds within each phrase. So, during the shofar blowing, we should not be passive. We are actively listening. We are experiencing the different emotions as we hear them sounded, and feeling the wordless prayer we are offering with each phrase of sounds. So when we hear the first tekiah expresses strength. Feel the wholeness, the optimism, the strength when everything is blessed, when everything is going well. Feel the beauty of Rosh Hashanah, the blessing of our family, the blessing of our community. It's great. What a beautiful moment to hear that first Tkiya. And then we hear Shvarim. And the mood shifts. Feel the slow moaning of intractable, ongoing difficulty, the brokenness of a bad relationship that doesn't improve, a chronic illness, a stubbornness in personality, disappointment. And also feel the jagged sobbing of crisis, of pain, the damaging effects of our actions and words on others we love. And now again, Tkiya. Feel God, when we hear that third sound, straightening what is bent in our lives. Feel our ability to meet our challenges with growth. Feel a sense of optimism and joy that we can become stronger and better, not only in spite of, but because of what we went through. And this is the final Tkiya, Tkiya Gedola, the great and long sound, the sound that as it straightens us and strengthens us, rises through the ceiling, through the sky, through the heavens, joining with every other Tkiya in every other congregation in the world, joining into one sound that reaches God, pleading to be straightened, praying to be forgiven, healed, strengthened, and see and feel that sound rise up to God and see God taking the crooked, curved bentness of our lives and straightening it into a strong, straight, joyous sound of Tkiya. That is the emotional power of Shofar. My friends, I wish you a good day, a great day. And I wish you a wonderful, inspiring Rosh Hashanah. I look forward to seeing all of you soon in person. And I wish every one of you and every one of us together, Shana Tova Umtuka, a sweet, happy, healthy, and uplifting New Year.